Annabelle, Brian, and Carl are playing a game using sticks of gum. For each round of the game, Annabelle gives half her sticks of gum to Brian and 1/4 to Carl. Brian gives 1/3 of his sticks to Annabelle and keeps the rest. Carl gives 40% of his sticks of gum to Annabelle and 10% to Brian. Sticks of gum can be cut into fractions when necessary. So I want to create a matrix to show how each of these things are being divvied up. And so what I want to do is there's 3 people involved: Annabelle, Brian, and Carl. So this is a closed set. So therefore it's going to be a 3 by 3 matrix to represent that. So we'll start by adding a 3 by 3 matrix. Now, the first row represents what Annabelle starts with, the second row, what Brian has, and the third row is what Carl has. And then the columns are what they receive. So if we go back, remember they said that Brian gets half of what Annabelle had, and Carl gets 1/4 of what Annabelle had. Now, obviously, she keeps what's left, so half and 1/4 are 3/4, leaving 1/4 for Annabelle. When we go to Carl or to Brian, Brian gives 1/3 to Annabelle, keeps the rest for himself. So therefore, Carl gets nothing from Brian. And lastly, when we go to Carl, he gives 4/10 to Annabelle, 1/10 to Brian. So therefore, he keeps half himself. And this is our matrix that describes the transformation. That's what's happening to the sticks of gum every time they play the game. So we're going to store this as A. Now, when I multiply this matrix times the 3-row, 1-column matrix ABC, A for Annabelle, B for Brian, C for Carl, we get the result that Annabelle had 525 sticks, Brian had 600, and Carl had 450. And we're going to store that matrix as B. When we go back to our document, the first question says, after one round of the game, they ended up with this many sticks. How many sticks would each player have after 2 more rounds? And that's where I really want you thinking about transformations. So if this transformation happens twice, that means that we're actually squaring matrix A. So this is what matrix A squared looks like. So A squared times B gives us this. So this suggests how many sticks of gum each person would have after playing the game 2 more times. So Annabelle, 547. Brian, 564, almost 565, and then Carl with 522. So the next question says, if we want to go backwards, how much gum did they have in the very beginning? So this is where we're going to do A inverse times B. So A inverse times B gives us 600, 600, 300. And that's how we can work backwards to find out how much gum each person actually started with. And if you kind of look at the pattern here, originally Carl only had 300 pieces of gum, but as they keep going, it looks like the other two are giving their gum away, and Carl's gonna come out the winner the longer they play this game. And that is question number